Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming out here to join us for the ribbon cutting. And I think we are actually going to cut a ribbon, but we're not going to go anywhere. But this is the celebration of the completion of the SMER, Santa Margarita Ecological Reserve Solar Generation Project. My name is Pat Thomas. I'm the Public Works Director for the City of Temecula, and I'm pleased to be here to celebrate this with all of you. So it's a project that's definitely been a long time in the making, and there's a couple of other folks that are going to speak here. One is former Mayor Matt Ron, who was involved from the beginning on this project, and then Bill Love from BioStar, who is the owner of the project. So they'll have some comments for you as well. I did want to recognize some people that are here with us. So from BioStar, Bill Love, Brian Hume was the project manager and spent many conversations on the phone with Brian. And then Andy Stancati, unfortunately wasn't able to be here, but he was instrumental in getting this project up and running as well. So from the city of Temecula, city manager Aaron Adams is here. Former assistant city manager Greg Butler was instrumental in moving this project through to completion. And he was unable to join us this morning, but definitely sends his regards. Assistant City Manager Kevin Hawkins is here, and several other city staff I see here with us. We have council members, Curtis Brown and Jessica. Where's my list here? Jessica Alexander. I blanked on your last name. So thank you for joining us. And then the project actually is located in the city of Temecula. Believe it or not, we're within the Temecula jurisdictional boundary. But for the usage of the electricity that's generated here, Temecula and the city of Lake Elsinore formed a joint powers authority. So we have a JPA in effect that this power then is generated and goes to credit on the accounts for both the city of Temecula and the city of Lake Elsinore. So we have Mayor Pro Tem Steve Manos here from the city of Lake Elsinore. We have City Manager Jason Simpson and some other representatives from the city of Lake Elsinore here as well. So thank you for joining us. I wanted to recognize, and although he's not here, but the manager of the SMER Reserve now, which is actually owned by San Diego State University, is Pablo Bryant, and he was very instrumental in getting this project completed here. And I don't think he's here. I didn't see him this morning, but wanted to recognize Pablo. And then also the electricity is generated here with these panels and then connects on to the grid right here, which is owned and operated by Southern California Edison. And we have Jeremy Goldman and Jennifer Campbell from Southern California Edison here with us this morning as well. So just wanted to give you some facts and figures about this project. So the property that we're on is 16 acres in size, and the number of solar panels here is 10,000 modules. So we have 10,000 solar panels here generating electricity. It generates electricity. It's a 3.7 megawatt generation facility. And over a year, this project will generate 6,400,000 kilowatt hours of electricity. So to give you an idea of how much that is, that's about equal to the usage of 600 single-family homes. So that's what's being generated here. And in terms of the usage of the cities, so the city of Temecula's annual usage for all of our facilities is about 5.8 million kilowatt hours per year. And this facility, the portion that Temecula is using is 4.4 million. So this facility is generating 75% of the power that's used by the city of Temecula, and the same for the city of Lake Elsinore. The city of Lake Elsinore shares a little bit less, but this facility is generating about 75% of the electricity that's used by the city of Lake Elsinore on an annual basis. And because of the fact that the agreement we have with BioStar is at a rate that is less than what Southern California Edison charges, and we have a long-term agreement on this facility, we're projecting that the city of Temecula could save about $10 million over the life of this project, so over that 30-year term, and the city of Lake Elsinore will save about $5 million over the term of the usage of this project. So it's about a 30-year term project. So a lot of good things about this. And I know former Mayor Ron will have a few things to say about the environmental benefits of the project. So with that, I'll turn it over to former Mayor Matt Ron.
Well, let's see if I remember how to do this. On behalf of the city of Marietta, no. And I got to say, I'm a little disappointed in our city manager and I know he's freaking out because he's like, oh, he's not a city council member anymore and he's got a microphone and God knows what he could possibly say because there's no constraints. But I'm a little disappointed, honestly, because we're here cutting a ribbon on a solar field and it's cloudy. I mean, come on, Aaron, you couldn't have done something about that. But seriously, though, this project started, I don't even want to say how many years ago. We thought about this in about 2008, 2009. Back when I was working with SDSU, this property here encompassed about 22 acres total of a eucalyptus grove. And from a fire perspective, that was a really bad thing. It was a high fire risk area. From an ecological perspective, it was terrible. We did surveys inside. And for those that don't know, eucalyptus groves typically are kind of dead zones for biodiversity. A lot of species get excluded. The plants, everything here was just, the understory was just gone because eucalyptus have the terpenes and other things that basically kill everything underneath them. And so we came to the university at one point and said, we need to get rid of the eucalyptus trees. And we came up with a bill, and the state of California, it was about $900,000 or so. And the state of California said, yeah, we're not going to remove the eucalyptus trees, And so we said, well, come on, we can get creative with this. And so we started coming up with this idea of using solar energy, renewable energy as a mechanism to help fund habitat restoration. And then we started getting really creative. And I do thank Bill, you and Brian and everybody else at BioStar for working with us on this, because I know we raked you over the coals on this project. But the concept was, have the property paid for habitat restoration. And then if you notice, we also have funding going in to support research at the Ecological Reserve too. And if you notice, there's differences in the heights of the solar panels, and there's differences in the distance and the space between them. And the idea was to do research, ecological research, to understand what helps with movement, wildlife movement, and occupancy, and what are the best distances if you're going to use solar to, sort of be compatible with ecosystems and habitat. And so this whole thing was designed as a research project. It's going to be funded for the next 20 years or so to study those effects. And then we got even more creative and we said, well, how do we get the energy to somebody who can use it? Because SDSU is 62 miles away and we certainly don't need the electricity. And so then we started talking to the cities, and there's this interesting program that, oh my God, is probably one of the most difficult programs to work through. But we got that done, and now the cities are saving, millions of dollars every year in their or not every year, but over the term of the project. And it was just like a win-win-win-win all the way around. And this whole thing, I was told so many times by everybody that it was never going to happen. And it never should have happened, to be honest. I mean, this was, a labor of love for a lot of people, including the cities. Thank you all for being a part of this and participating. I'll just point out other couple little features here. There was no concrete used in this project. There was no grading of the land, no terraforming, no movement or bulldozers came in here at all. Each one of those posts was pounded into the ground. We got clearances from Pachanga. This is part of, obviously, the sacred lands for the tribe as well. We appreciate their partnership and working with us on this. And then you'll notice the contouring. It looks a little wonky because, we had to do that to follow the landscape and keep everything, as natural as possible, so that 20, 30 years from now, when all of this is removed, now you have all the habitat. You can see it growing back here. It's recovered nicely. You're getting coastal sage and some of the native species moving back in there and recolonizing. Down on the south end, we have plantago, which is a very unique plant that supports an endangered butterfly, something we haven't seen on the reserve for many years. So overall, this has been just a phenomenal success. And just happy to see that we're finally here to make that happen. So thank y'all for coming out and appreciate your time.
Thanks, Matt. And our next speaker will be Bill Love, president of BioStar, the owner of this facility.
Hello, I'd like to thank the city of Temecula and Matt Ron for his vision in creating this in the city of Lake Elsinore. And we're proud to be partners with you for the next generation of providing savings on your electricity bills. I'd also like to thank the folks at F&M Bank, Dave Maurer, who came out of retirement, that originally underwrote this project for us. They've been marvelous to work with as we've gone through getting this project online, which has had its fair share of struggles. And but you know, at the end of the day, we are proud to have seen it through and gotten everything done, and look forward to helping the cities and the area with their greenhouse gas reductions and their savings on their energy, and look forward to a long-term mutually beneficial relationship. Thanks.
All right. Well, now I think we're going to cut a ribbon.